Hello, everyone. Good day and welcome to One Global Movement Building Hopes and Dreams, where we speak from our hearts to help children, young people, women to build on their hopes and their dreams, to defeat hunger, illiteracy, poverty, and all other social challenges that face them worldwide. And we do understand that when you help one child, you help one woman, you have helped the entire world, the entire family. And that is our concept here because it is true. So, here so passionate about providing resources, both online and physical resources that will help these children because the way that things are going in the world, it's not looking so good for these children. And this Women History Month is a month that we are doing these things and we continue to move forward because women play a very vital role in every home, in every child's life and all our lives. They are our mothers, they are our aunties, they are our nieces. Women carry the face of heaven. The face of heaven is under their feet. And then we want to respect them and we also want to pay tribute to the great things that women have done, they are doing, and they will continue to do in the world, beginning with those that are gone. They left behind impactful legacies that we are also using those legacies today to continue to build on our hopes and our dreams. So I thank you guys so much. I was expecting a lot of men on the stage here today because this topic is for men. But Mr. Barilla is coming and our brother Bruce is already here. Thank you so much, Bruce, for being here. And thanks to everyone in the chat. I know that it's going to get better. Right now, we are unable to stream to YouTube because StreamYard is overcharging, and instead of us paying more than $66 a month, we can use that money to invest in the programs that we are building for children, such as 5 checks per child, supporting small businesses, writing scholarship programs, and Smiles in a Bag program, and a lot of other programs that we are doing, carrying out, and we're going to continue to do in order to. Okay, John is here. Welcome.
Yes. Thank
Yes.
you. Hi.
Hi.
I don't have a background. I'm so sorry. I was trying to put one on. I thought, well, I'll just get on there because now you're going to be late. So
No,
here
that's
I
okay.
am
Don't worry.
without the background, but I'm here. And you say
Yes.
Bruce is also going to be with us, right?
He's here already.
Yes,
I
I'm here.
see him, but he says he doesn't see us. I see him clearly.
And can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, but I can't see you. I don't seem to be in StreamMate.
Well, I can't see you either, but we're both here.
I can see both of you guys clearly. So, and I just want to thank you for these two men here and those that are going to be in the chat. Please let us give our opinion on this topic because we have different worldviews and different opinion, which is what we want for our children and our young people so that they can have more than 10, 20 choices. We can give them 2 is not a choice. 3 is a little bit of a choice. 4, 5, up to a million. We have a lot of good resources that we carry here. But I want to thank all the Unpassive family, especially our CEO who brought us here together. This is a world family that was brought together by our CEO, even though there are other people from outside of Unpassive that are also contributing to One Global Movement. I highly appreciate you guys. I don't take this lightly because it takes time, it takes resources, it takes a good heart to be able to help children, young people, and women. And today, the last day that we're going to be talking. Let's see if somebody can mute here. So that
Who's that?
Today is going to be the last day for celebrating Women History Month, but we don't just celebrate a month, women in 1 month. We got to celebrate women all through the year. That is what it means. We celebrate women all through the year and continue to do so, not just women, children, young people, men, because one cannot go without the other. A woman cannot go without the man. A man cannot go without the woman in terms of business, in terms of relationship, in terms of contributing to the society. These things we were created to work together for the empowerment of humanity, and which is what we are doing here. So thank you guys so much again. And we are in One Global Movement Revolution Part 322. What is the role of men, fathers, and male leaders in advocating for gender equality in support of Women History Month? What do you think? Think about that question. I'm going to read it again. What is the role of men, fathers, young men, and male leaders in advocating for gender equality in support of Women History Month? You know, Women History Month, it's put that way because women go through a lot of challenges in the world. Women go through, in certain areas, they are denied an education. For instance, Melanie is here. Thank you, Melanie, for coming. So women, we coin it that way because women are so much on the disadvantage, especially our young girls. And therefore, it is our responsibility, our God-given responsibility, to pay attention to those that are most vulnerable in every society. And so therefore, we want to pay emphasis on women, both younger and older. And it doesn't matter whether they are able or disabled, whether they have a big bank account or they don't. We want to be able to do that. And therefore, we want to continue to do, and we want to do it differently because they've been doing this for years. So what change? What are we going to do differently? And so we want to take action, not just talking. We want to be able to take action. We want to teach. We want to teach children to be self-sufficient and self-independent. We want to educate to make sure that education is for every child, regardless of your gender. We want to make sure that what affects the boy child or the male child also affects the female child. What affects the man also affects the woman. We want to make sure that we give equal opportunity to all, because the best thing you can do is to give a woman a chance to try, is to give your female child a chance to try, is to give your daughter that opportunity, that same opportunity that you're giving your male child, your son. It is to say, you know what? I love you guys. You guys are my children. You were born for greatness. You were born for a purpose. And I am going to do whatever it takes in my capacity to make sure that you do the best in life. So strong men lift others up. And the strongest men lift women into the light of equality. Yes, strong men will lift women up, but the strongest men will lift women into the light of equality without saying that I'm better than you. Of course, men by creation are the leaders of the home. Let's not forget about that. No matter what the world tells us, men are the leaders of the home. But when you lead with love and compassion and equality, then you must have impacted the world in a great way. So a father's legacy is not just in his son's footsteps, but in how he teaches his daughter to walk without limits. Walk without limits is what we're teaching our daughters. Men who stand for women's rights are not just allies. You're not just an ally or a friend. They are architects of a more just world, advocating for a more just world. Imagine I was in that position where education was denied me, but because of my grandmother who fought it, and my mother and my grandmother and my village that fought with tears and love and nurturing, they said, no, she likes school. She will, and we want to help her go to school. And thank God that they did that. So true leadership is not about power. It's not about the power of the gun, the power of the sword, or the power of the barrel, or whatever. True leadership, when we empower others, particularly women that are vulnerable, and especially women to rise. We want women to rise. We always say, mama, mommy, my mom this, my mom that. You know, we always say mom, mom, mom a million times because we know how important the mother is or the woman is in the family. A world that empowers women is a world that prospers so much. Men, fathers, and leaders must help build this world for both the boys and the girls, regardless. So equality is not a favor. No, it is not a favor. It is a fundamental human right, both men and women. When men who champion it shape a better future for all. I talk here about my Uncle John a lot because my Uncle John never got married, never had children of his own, but the way that he treated us, educated us, taught us things, and gave us access to everything, equality, both me and my brothers, it's so impactful that I would never stop talking. That is why you see Uncle John on the screen there. I said, no, you are that Uncle John who never got married, who never had children, who sang, who did plays, because all what he was doing, he's doing. My uncle did it too. And so now he is the managing director here, and he's been helping One Global Movement before I even knew him, which is so impactful. And thank you so much for that. So the greatest lesson a father can teach his children is that respect and equality are not optional. Not optional. They are essential part of living. Every woman's success is a victory for humanity. We all know that. Male leaders who uplift women are leading us all towards that kind of progress that we all deserve, that our young ones deserve, especially our young girls. A man's strength is not measured by dominance, to say I'm going to dominate you, or I'm going to dominate you by the barrel of the gun or with my mouth or putting you down, but by how boldly and with humility he stands for fairness and justice. And therefore, these men here, it's so important. Men, fathers, male leaders play a very important role in advancing gender equality by using their influence. You guys have influence. You have power. And you influence their voices, actions to create a world where women and young girls can thrive, not just survive. Their support is essential in breaking down systemic barriers. They're systemic barriers in every society, challenging harmful stereotypes, harmful cultural practices, and fostering an environment where women are empowered to lead, learn, and succeed as protectors. Fathers, men are protectors. They are the pillars behind all of us here. You know, they are providers. You provide for your family, and you are mentors. Men have the power to uplift women. You do. You're doing it here in One Global Movement. Do it everywhere, and then also help the young men around you to also do it. They uplift women by promoting education, equal opportunities, and safe spaces for growth. Fathers, shape the next generation, please. I dare you to shape the next generation by teaching your sons respect, empathy, and fairness, while encouraging their daughters, encouraging your daughters to dream beyond limitations. Male leaders can use their platforms to advocate for policies and practices that ensure women's and young girls' empowerment is not just a conversation. No, it's not just a conversation, but a reality that we're going to take steps every single day to make sure that both boys and girls are equal to exercise their God-given potential. Unless they say, I cannot do this, I chose to do this, let us expose them to everything equally. So I'm going to give the platform, beginning with our wonderful men here. Let's hear what these men have to say. And in the chat, please write something about this topic so that we can teach one another. Thank you so much.
Well, who's going to go first, me or Bruce?
Whoever wants to go.
Bruce, you want to go first?
Sure, I guess I'll say a little. I'll say a little. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Say a little something about men, fathers, and male leaders and advocating for gender equality.
Yes.
Say something to us. Go ahead.
I will tell you, the best thing I can do is tell you my experience growing up. Do you have me on echo? Or is that clear to you? Because I'm hearing some feedback.
Of who?
I'm hearing feedback.
He's asking if you all have him on echo because there's a feedback.
Oh, echo. No, I'm not hearing any echo.
No echo. You're okay.
You sound fine.
It's just in my mind.
Okay.
Well, I grew up with three women in my family, with a very dominating grandmother, two grandmothers, and I had a lot of love in the family, a lot of affection. So I remember growing up, and I remember being in kindergarten, which is the first year we went to school. And I remember it was in that time and snack time. And I remember asking a little girl to share my blanket with me. So over the years, I've always loved girls, I've always loved women. And I've always been able to listen to women. Most men I know don't always grow up in that way. I remember in the fifth grade, we had two lines, one man, one woman, who were separated. And the men would always yak about the girls, and I would look at them and say, guys, they're not the enemy. And I always knew they were never the enemy. But in our society, the society in general has a tendency of wanting to make one sex more powerful than the other. And that's the illusion that we grew up with. It's not that we were meant to, it's just the illusion we have that one is more powerful. I know for a fact, I've talked to you before about this. Men cannot live without women, and women cannot live without men. That's the natural tendency of this. So the more we learn how to respect each other and understand that both of them have the same quality of the brain. We both are very intelligent, given to God. We have incredible.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you for that great contribution and for your appreciation, especially you talk about your grandmother. I am really so highly grateful that you're one of those men that are supporting equality in a humble, respectful way. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
John, come on. John, you're muted?
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I'm all right now.
Yes.
Anyhow, I'll get my tech together. Anyhow, so today the topic is what is the role of men, fathers, and male leaders in advocating for gender equality in support of Women's History Month or support of women in general. My point is that, and I'm always kind of joking about this. Now, our goal and also our purpose in One Global Movement, Speak with Heart, is to educate young girls. In a certain situation, this has inspired Dr. Yvonne to bring about One Global Movement with this goal of educating young girls.
Thank you.
Now, what I want to say is I agree with that, and that's why I'm here. And I'm also here because she thinks I'm like her Uncle John. I'm actually John. I'm not a real uncle, but she says that I have a lot of the same characteristics and traits. And I guess apparently he probably treated you and his attitude towards women was gender equality. So that's a good thing because I feel the same way. So anyway, I always joke here about gender equality. But I also joke here when I say every time I hear you folks, and it's usually the ladies on the panel, they speak of educating. And you just mentioned a few moments ago about women. And I always say, yes, we have to think about, I usually put hashtag educating young girls. And then I put hashtag, and don't forget the boys. Or I put hashtag, and little boys too. And the reason I say that is this is how we can achieve gender equality. Because if we don't educate the young boys as well as the young girls, how can you achieve gender equality? Because from the beginning of time, so to speak, there has never been, or at least it's starting to be better, but when I say never, it's been not very good with the equality of men and women. Men have dominated culture and society since the beginning of time, if you think about it. And even today, much of our society and culture, not just in the United States, but in a lot of these countries who really have a severe problem, their culture in itself is infected, so to speak. Look what happened to Yvonne and her story. And to think that men in that society in general could come up with something, what they do to women, it's abuse. It's not right. And so my thing is, I believe we have to change the world all over the world so that we can have true gender equality. So men, fathers, male leaders, what do? We have to advocate. We have to advise. We have to learn ourselves first. Because if we don't educate the young boys as well as the young girls, how do they learn that women are equal to men? There should be and is gender equality. It's not a goal to strive for. It should be there from the beginning. We are equal, and they should get all of what they deserve in credit for things, just the way they are treated. And they are every bit as powerful, knowledgeable, loving as any male could possibly be. So we have to learn, but we also have to step up and advocate so that we can tell others, not just men and women who don't realize that the men have dominated, and it's long enough. Let's put it that way. We don't need to have that. We want everyone, men and women, to share in equality. Not a hard concept, but it would take a long time to achieve this, because after all, like I said, this is something that's been around, oh my, how long? For a long time, since the beginning of time, perhaps. That's the way I feel about it. So I'm doing the best I can. I speak about it. I try to encourage both men and women to feel the way I do. And I hope that I treat women with equality, because they are. I mean, I wish I were as powerful, as knowledgeable, as loving as most of the women I know. It's a goal for me. Not that I think I'm superior in any way. I think I need to, step up and do my best so that I recognize that the women are every bit as good and smart and funny and happy and as I am, whatever you want to say. We are equal. So I would like to tie it up by saying I'm going to sing a little song, and I sure hope it's going to work, because I'm always fighting with my equipment. I'm just going to give it a shot here, and I'm going to sing a song. I know that it's not the official theme, but it's something we really love to hear in One Global Movement. I've sung it before, and I'm going to sing it again. And if you listen to the song, it talks about the children, right? It talks about the children. Hear the children crying. It doesn't talk about hear the men crying, hear the little boys crying. It's children or girls crying. It's all children. So that's my point of what I'm saying. Let's talk about all of us together being equal, not just the men over the women. Okay, so let's listen to the words, and I'm going to give it a shot here, and hopefully you'll hear it. I'll sing it all the way through, whether you can hear it perfectly or not. Let's see what happens. Yeah. One love, One heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Yeah, hear the children crying. Hear the children crying. Say, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Yeah, say, let's get together and feel alright. Let them all pass all the dirty remarks. There is one question I'd really love to ask. Is there a place for the hopeless sinner who has hurt all mankind just to save his own belief? One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright, as it was in the beginning. So shall it be in the end. Alright, praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Oh, let's get together and feel alright. One more thing. Let's get together to fight holy Armageddon. Men and equal to women. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. Women and men equal. Pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Say one love. Yeah, how about the one heart? Yeah, what about the let's get together and feel alright? Yeah, please to mankind. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Yeah, let's get together and feel alright. Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow. Thank you so much, John. We missed that.
Did you hear it okay?
Time. Yes, it was good.
Oh, great.
We missed that.
Wow, that makes me feel good because my darn computer's always betraying me.
John, you did very well.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's all I got to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you, John. Okay, we're waiting for our beautiful Melanie.
I'm here now. Hi, Sister Yvonne. Hi, John and Bruce.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's a wonderful thing. My phone keep beeping. I don't know where the texts are coming from, but all along it's boop boop each time. But anyhow, I'll ignore. Wonderful thing. It's awesome when boys and girls, or men and women get together, because we are all people.
Mhm.
It's not about, yes, we are women and we went through suffering, went through all kinds of things, just like there's men who went through the same. But we are looking after young people. Our motive, our actions is get towards helping young people. And with young people, it's gender equality. So men, young women, or little children, both boys and girls. So as a unified body, unified doesn't have to be just one gender. Unified can be, male and female. And it's a beautiful thing because when male and female are together, they get used to each other, right?
Yeah.
They get to know what the boys like and vice versa. So the agreement between the two of them become more of a height than when we not separate, but when we kind of segregate. We have boys on one side, girls on one side. And it's almost like a pull pocket, like you're doing a tug of war. Okay. What I was trying to bring out is when we have the mixed schools, for example, is boys and girls, mixed schools, we have male and female, and in between. We don't have just the girls talking to the girls, oh, let's go get them. We have the boys and the girls doing everything together. And it's better because, like I said, they'll get to understand, they'll get to know each other better. And the agreement between them will be more social because already they're getting used to it. But when they're segregated or when they're put in one group and the other group is male, then you'll always have an opposition. You're gonna have a fight because they are not used to seeing what they are seeing if they are together. So by us as adults, whether it's male or female, when we collaborate and when we unify those two sets of genders, very young to the middle age, not middle age, but mid-teens or teens, when we combine them together, when we put them together, it's a wonderful thing we are doing because the work that is going to be done, it will be shared rather than fighting against the other to know that one is better.
Yep.
Or I can do it better than the boys or the boys vice versa. It's not like that in this life. We're supposed to have brotherhood and sisterhood all in one. It's collaboration. And having a collaboration, supporting as men and women and praising our young ones who are coming up both genders, then it's going to be better for the world. With the world as it is, world meaning it's us already, right? Because we make up the world. With the world as it is, if we don't advocate for the equal opportunities, right, for men and women, if we don't advocate for what's happening with the young girls or the young boys, because it's happening now to both. Both of them can be raped, both of them can be insufficient when it comes to jobs and things like that. So if we don't be advocates as adults for them, how are they going to be in this life? They're going to be the same way, thinking, okay, the boy think he's better than I am, or vice versa. So we are the ones with the voice behind them, and we are going to be the ones, the genders together, working for the good of their sake, right?
Yep.
We are going to equalize what we thought was segregation, because that was a bad thing they were doing. Because I grew up with brothers, right? There were more girls than boys in my family, lots of girls than boys. However, the boys, we never left them out. We always did things together. We'll fight together, and when we'll have things doing together. And that's how they learn to be strong, because sometimes the men need the women or the girls need the boys to help them be strong, and the other way around, vice versa. And in a society we are living now, that's what we need for us to get the cause resulted in the most the most achievious way. We want them to achieve high levels. So together with the race that they're going to run, boys and girls, men and women behind them, advocating for them, that race will be won. Together we fight and together we win.
There you go.
Equality.
Yes. I love that. Together, we are going to help one another. Together, we'll fight. Together, we resolve it. Together, we solve forward. Together, we're going to win. Because this is just, when we go against this rule, we are going against nature, and things don't work. When we go against nature, things don't work. And sometimes it's difficult. It's not that easy, because that is why you see some of those fights, some of those failures, they are meant to build us up even more stronger, wiser, and more resilient. It is not there as a weakness. No, that is actually a strength. We need to tap into those instances. And sometimes you are isolated. Some people, like me, I was isolated. But thank God, my own isolation for a little over 3 months did not really mean that it was a bad thing for me, but God made it that way, and my grandmother helped a lot. So when you are isolated in cases like this, because I've seen, not just in my case, in the cases of other young girls that went through the same thing like me, but unfortunately, they are no more with the only little sister that I had. But in some of those cases, we begin to teach our children, when you are isolated, listen to the inner voice within you. Things will download within you that are going to help your journey as you go along in life. And it's not something that is going to happen now. It is a continuous thing. So we must nurture these two together, the boys and the girls. They must come together, whether in relationship, whether in business, whether in conversation like this, whether in attending conferences in school, whatever, they are bound to work together. So I am urging all the men, and I ask, because I know that not to accuse any man, but sometimes people do things because their mental space is not just okay, not because they are bad people per se. No, sometimes it's like that. In the case of my father, I know that because of what happened to a lot of countries in the world, oppression and colonialism and all those things, the government was a contributing factor by imposing a lot of taxes on farmers. My father was a farmer and other things, so they could not make the money. So now they are put in a tight hole to choose between educating the male child and educating the female child. So now they choose the male child, and it is all over the world. But it's getting better all the time. It's getting better, and we are here to contribute to make it even more better, because a child is a child, regardless whether they have all their limbs on or not, regardless of their background, regardless of their skin color, regardless of whether their parents' bank account is so full or not. No, we want our children to be happy and healthy. That is the number one thing. When they're happy and healthy, when they know that they belong, when they know that they have choices that have been given to every child equally. Not saying that you go to this school, you don't go to this school. You are a female child, you don't do this. So that is the thing. When you do like that, the children go in life looking down on themselves, and before you know, up here is not okay. So we are advocating that you men, physically you're powerful. Physically, the men will protect, like my brothers, they protect me like a hawk. Okay, nobody can touch me with my brothers. It was difficult for even men to date me, because they'll look at you, they say, I know you, no, you're not fit to date my sister, you know. So, and they are still protective up to today at my age, which is a good thing. Like Melanie said, that the men, they are good in certain areas, and that is so good. And the women, the young girls, are also good in another. When we combine these together, then we are getting somewhere. We cannot do it alone. Melanie cannot do it alone. John cannot do it alone. I cannot do it alone. That is why we are here together. And so let us build these communities in our families. Of course, family is family. God created it that way. Look for ways. We know that some families might not be the way that they should be, but let us see what ways can we help them instead of canceling them out. But in the case of like here now with Unpassed, who brought us together, look at what we are doing. This is amazing. And so, fathers, we need you to be role models, shaping how your daughters see their worth, their self-esteem, and how their sons perceive respect. You don't say respect because you're the man, you're powerful. No, not physical. Physical prowess, it does not count. It is what comes from your heart, the humility that you carry, the respect that you carry, the hard work that you carry, that you want to champion. The world is what matters. And then our male leaders, you all are leaders. We all are leaders here, but we are advocating for the protection and advocacy for these young women that are on the disadvantage. Children in general. When you're doing it for a young girl, it's also important that we do it for the young boy that is also present in her life, so that they in turn would teach other men when they see other men, because it comes to the point where some men beat women, really beat them. Some load their gun and shoot them and kill them because they are mad. And let us also allow men to express themselves, to be vulnerable, to cry, express their emotions. Unlike before that, they say, oh, you're a man, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to do that. No, some of these things will contribute to the way that they also treat women. So male leaders, you can be advocate in the workplace, like here in One Global Movement, in politics, in the community. Male leaders have the power to promote policies and cultures that uplift women, be it through their wages. your salary that you earn, your business money, leadership opportunities, or workplace protection. You can protect a lot. I have gone through that in the workplace, but now you are afraid. It's your boss. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do if you don't get that job? Now I tell you, ladies, if you are working, a boss is bothering you because some bosses, they want to sleep with you or something. They want a favor from you. What you do is, but if you're not courageous, seek for somebody, that other person to do it together with. For me, what I ended up doing was I went into my boss's office. I said, I shut the door. I said, it's you and me here together. Please, I never want you to do this to me anymore because I will expose you. From there, and he can't fire me, he can't do anything. So look for ways. There are always ways, or you talk to somebody. And so men can be allies, they can be friends. True friends with the fear of God. True progress is made when men actively support and amplify women's voices. You once said, oh no. And a lot of good men are out there. Most of the men are good because men say ladies before gentlemen. I hear them say that a lot. They are opening the door to their women. They are carrying things. They're saying, Madam, what can I help you with? This, I've seen it. Even yesterday, one opened the door, said, don't open it. I'll come and open it. Shouting from right behind me for a summit that I attended. So there are a lot of good men. It's just a few that don't understand how the dynamics work. That we might say they are bad people. They're not very bad people because we don't know their background. We don't know why they're behaving the way they're behaving. But it is up to us, the men, I'm not a man, up to the men and us women to really try to advocate. Being an ally means speaking up like we are doing here, like Mr. Barilla just did, and Bruce, speaking up against discrimination, speaking up against abuse, speaking up against cultural practices that are not healthy, and speaking up, advocating for equality, choices, and celebrating the achievements of women. Women need a lot of needs. They have a lot of biological needs that a lot of people don't know. Please, if we can even contribute $1 or $2 to help us put smiles in a bag and ship them to these women, it will be a very progressive thing. But as we are moving forward, as Melanie, we talked about before, we're going to be broadcasting YouTube Live. We're just looking for a way where we all can go on the panel, and it's going to happen by the grace of God. So women, let us work together with men. I will first of all say, I know that a lot of our kids have been shut down. They're afraid to say things. They don't trust people because of the way that the world is and the systems are. But look for your uncle, your daddy, your brother, or a church leader that you feel in your heart that you trust, and say something to. And so that they can help advocate. So men, fathers, and male leaders play a very important role in advocating for gender equality, especially during Women's History Month. Let us make this thing just like something that we come here and celebrate. Let us make it a celebratory show, not just coming here to keep advocating. Don't do this to women. Don't do this to young girls. Let us do that. Being somebody that went through that, and I'm sure a lot of us women have gone through stuff because of the old ways of thinking that, oh, the man is better than the woman. The man can do this job and a woman cannot do. Even right here in the United States until today, they are still talking about equality in pay in certain jobs for the woman because the man is still paid more. Let the woman try. Let the female child try. Give them that opportunity and let them say, I cannot do it, and lead by example, not just talking. Do it. You see, Melanie and I were talking about planting, growing, planting a seed. You see us on grounds really doing it. You're not just talking, we're doing it. Because when you do it as a role model, as an example, you know, these children will copy. Advocating for equal opportunity, very, very important. Challenging stereotypes. Don't let somebody say, oh, look at her. Look at the way she is. No, let's not let that happen. So thank you so much. And if you have anything, anybody, just keep talking while I will be appreciating the audience.
Yeah, so
I'd like to say something else. That's okay.
Okay, that's okay. Very okay.
Okay. One thing we should remember is where we are as an non-passive. In a non-passive, one of the goals is to uplift humanity.
There you go.
Before you can uplift anybody, you must recognize there's a problem. Astro, there was a problem. He wanted to fix it, and he's working his heart out to try to fix it for everyone. It's impossible for anything to change until people recognize the problem. If
Mm-hmm.
you're an alcoholic, somebody can't tell you you're an alcoholic. You have to admit it yourself. If you have a problem with men or with women, you have to acknowledge you have a problem, address it, and then
Yes.
find solutions.
There you
So
go.
it's very important for us to stay in solutions. One important thing I heard a long, long time ago, and I'll never forget it, which means one thing. I'm sure you can understand this. God does not play favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in God's world is God's favorite. Everyone from Jesus to me to everyone in his panel in the world is loved by God. And
Yes.
God wants everybody to be happy, joyous, and free. It's just for us to make that decision and move in that direction and move away from the negativity between men and women.
Yes.
Understand that women are beautiful. You know, James Brown had a great song, It's a Man's World, but it said, but it would be nothing, nothing without a woman or a girl.
Thank you.
Never forget that everybody has to work together.
Mm-hmm.
As One Love says, one love, one world. Let's get together. Let's get together. Get together and be all right.
Yes. Thank you so much, Bruce. Thank you. I love that. And you need to
Uh,
come here every so often. Please, we miss you. Thank you so much.
and
Okay.
keep letting me know how to get in.
Yes, so he's finished, right?
Yes.
Is
Yeah,
he finished?
I'm
Thank you.
done.
Okay.
Thank you, Bruce. So I was gonna say, and another thing we have to do, we harbor things inside of us when it comes to because we think men have the upper hand, or we are thinking that because that's how we were brought up, right? We think that the men have more power, but in reality, they are just like us. They have their softness in them too,
Mm-hmm.
and we sometimes we want to harbor things that they do to us. We have to learn to forgive, and we have to learn to even out stuff so that we can learn to understand each other better and take that problem and turn it into something different, something more positive. Because I, for one, I always like to share my experience, and it took me a while, but I had to join groups for me to be able to talk that way. When
Mm-hmm.
I was younger, I mean, I was once a child. We were all children, right? So we are talking in terms of children. When I was almost 14, it wasn't even quite 14 yet. Sorry, Kenneth Copeland is calling. Usually they call once in a while to pray. Anyhow, yeah. So when I was raped, I will openly say it, and there's no judgment in there.
Yeah.
I used to think, okay, it was my fault, and I hated the guy, hated him, but I learned to forgive.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean I will be a close counterpart with that person because, anyhow, to make a long story short, that's just one example. The second one, I learned to forgive. Second one was in my adult age, when I had a knife plucked beside my head
Mm.
in a pillow. The feathers were coming out, plucked close to my head. What I did not call the cops. Because sometimes they say you see someone and you think they have it going, but unless they tell you the story, you will not understand. I did not call the cops. I called his family wherever they were in another province. And what they're telling me is to call the cops because you never know what that can lead to. I was scared. I was trembling. I held the phone and I started dialing the cops' number. or the 911, but I turned it into their number, family, called them and told them what's happening. And I was shaky. You know, I was very shaky. And this man still had the knife. It's, you know, he still had the knife, and I'm not talking about my present person. It's the current one, the one he passed away through murder. Anyhow, sorry about that. But I forgive. I forgave. After all of that, I forgave. And when the sad thing happened to him, he was only 39. I didn't feel as bad because I forgave him before that happened to him. I went to the funeral. I was there. We were not together at the time because I had to leave that situation, right? So I went to the funeral, and I didn't feel as bad because I know that my heart was free. So that is one thing we have to do as women too. Sometimes men do things to us that maybe it's really atrocious, and it's things that can really hurt, but you have to let go. You have to find ways for you to clear your inside. Otherwise, you will never continue in life. You'll always have things harboring in you. So that can be passed on to young children, because one day they're going to grow up and they will know, okay, I heard that experience before. I heard that person speaking about that before. I don't want that to happen to me, but if it does come to existence, then I will know, learn to forgive. Because we are all humans, regardless of men, regardless of women, we are all humans together, and we all have the soft spot in us.
There you go.
All right. So that's
Thank you so
one of
for bringing that up. That is such a beautiful thing. Forgiveness.
yes.
Forgiveness, there's a quote, I'm forgetting it. Forgiveness is first for the person that is forgiving. When we forgive those, I had to forgive my father, but even so, my grandmother and my mom trained me to say that is your father, regardless of what happens. That's still your father. In the scripture says, honor your mother, honor your father, so that your days will be long upon the earth. I had to forgive my father. Even from time to time is coming. But what ended up was I forgave. I was responsible for him, for medication, everything, until I buried my father, passed about 5-6 years ago. And so forgiveness is first for us, for the forgiver, and then for the other person, because we don't know why people behave sometimes the way they do. We also have sides of us that are not good, but we have to constantly work on ourselves. Constantly work on ourselves. I am not, nobody's perfect. I am not, but I have to constantly work on myself. Maybe just as we are talking here, we are teaching ourselves too, reminding ourselves, not just helping these children. Through helping these children, we are also helping ourselves. So let us forgive, like she said. Forgiveness is very, very important. And we have to teach our children. They don't know. If we don't teach them, they don't know. I talked about women and men, particularly women, because I see situations where women they ban their children from seeing their father. That is their father. If their life is not in danger, let the father be in the life of that child or those children. Because what you're doing is, like you said, Melanie, you're teaching the child resentment, you're teaching the child unforgiveness, you're teaching the child bitterness, you're teaching the child revenge, you're teaching the child a lot of all these negative baggages that they will carry. So there is nothing that we cannot have solution. We are here brought together by a solution-oriented person. Providing solutions to the world is what Bruce said. And so that is very, very important for us here, because the way children don't know anything. If we don't help them, they get confused. Some of them, their parents are not there because they are gone. And so we need to take them from where they are gradually at their pace and take them to where they want to go, depending on what they want, not what we want for them. We can only help and suggest helping and exposing them to everything, making sure they know we love them. If you don't let your child know that you love them, that child, they already know that you don't love them. They start going, their mental health is not going to be okay. And so this is so important. So thank you so much for that. And this is a wonderful discussion here.
Yeah. So, Sister Yvonne, I was just concluding. I don't want to take the whole stage platform for myself, but concluding with what I just said, after you do that, that causes you to be stronger
Mm-hmm.
because you know you have gone through that already. You can relate to another person, like a young person going, because young children go through it, young girls and boys go through the same thing in relationship from a young age. And
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, there's a lot of battering with young people,
Mm-hmm.
whether men or the boys or the girls. Often it can even lead to the serious stuff. I
Yes.
don't want to mention it on the
Yeah,
screen
we know
anymore.
that serious stuff.
Yes, right. So with all of that, you learn to be strong, and we can give them guidance on being strong. Doesn't mean you just pray. Being strong doesn't mean okay, I did it with an A effort. Being strong is, overcoming those type of hurdles and being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You take that and it strengthens you.
Certainly.
And it helps you to be bold, because this is how I got to be bold. Like I said, no more. Even if I have to take pressure, but no more, I'll stand up. I'll forgive, but I have to say something. Otherwise,
Thank God you
it's
did that. I'm
something.
really so happy. I had to, all of
Mhm.
us, not just you, all of us, that is a very beautiful thing. But when those things happen, it doesn't mean that it happened, it won't happen again. We just have to be on the watch and listen to ourselves and keep taking our action. Because a lot of time these things happen to women because they don't have the resources to help themselves, the young girls. And now they are lured into situations because of resources or financial resources to help themselves. And a lot of times it's not a good thing. And so it will happen. That's why we need to empower them, not just by talking, by doing like those programs so that they will build themselves economically strong, financially strong, socially strong, and educationally strong, and otherwise, so that when something can be like, oh no, I need to do my own. I need to be my own independent person so that nobody takes advantage. That is how my grandmother built me up. I started raising chickens at the age of 5. I've been doing all kinds of businesses. That's why you see me doing all of these things so that nobody would take advantage of me. I was a late starter in life, okay? Almost the last year of university. I was a very late starter in life. So, which is good. It is good. Nowadays, if we can even help our children not to even go there until they are ready, that would be the best thing for them. So it's they can date, they can do whatever, but if you are not ready, don't sleep around just because you want to sleep around. That does not help at all. Not at all. Unless you really know that this person, you and this person can get along. You can't get along 100%, of course, no. But what are the most important things in life that can help you get along? You put them in this bucket, the other one, and what can you work on together to make things better for one another is what we are talking about, because nobody can be 100% good except the one that created us. So I'm really so happy with this wonderful, powerful conversation. Next year, we're going to make it even more powerful. So we have, hello, Cecile. How are you? Thank you so much for supporting the discussion here today about our young girls. And of course, you can support the young girl without supporting the young boy. So thank you so much, Mr. Barilla. It's been a while. Seeing you on stage here, it's really a gift. And the singing again, it's even more powerful. Thank you so much. And we have Abdi Salam. If you're new here, you're welcome to this group. We are descendants of Unpassive, carrying the great news and the gospel of Unpassive to the rest of the world. So thank you so much for joining us here. And let's go, Suresh Kumar. Thank you so much for your support for women, young women and young boys, of course. But this month we're talking about women. And Hamida, how are you? Thank you so much for being here with us. We highly appreciate you. We have Sunil. How are you? If you're new here, you're welcome here. You can subscribe in our YouTube channel, please. And that is the least way that you can start by helping us here. So thank you. As we keep revamping our YouTube, going to get to the point where we can start doing something so that we move faster. Because as we speak, there are children dying of hunger. There are children not going to school. They don't know how to read and write. They can't even learn a skill because they have no food to eat. And we are living in a world of plenty. And so we can help to bring, to really bridge that gap so they don't go like that anymore. We have Didi Dipok Dash. How are you, sir? Thank you so much. And of course, our beautiful Mel is on the panel here. And Ashish Saka, how are you, sir? Thank you so much for being with us here today to discuss this very important topic. We appreciate you. Ojala Kuma, how are you, sir? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have Gutam Halda. How are you? Thank you so much for being with us here today. We highly appreciate you. And Melanie says, some of you men and women in the chat can join us on the panel. We invite you guys. Next time, we want to see this panel be filled with men. And not even next time. We want men to come here to participate in these discussions, because children are brought in the world through men and women, right? Together. So we want to make sure that they hear from both angles, please. And Melanie says, this journey toward gender equality is not just about women gaining equality, but about society as a whole benefiting from a more inclusive, respectful, and empowered world. That is so true. Thank you so much for saying that. And then you say, it is a pleasure to see both our main director, John Barilla, and also Bruce Gersten join Sister Mundih and myself on the panel. Yes, this is beautiful today. I'm so happy to, I'm really so happy. Thank you guys so much. And it is such a wonderful thing when men and women come together collaboratively to join in the movement to lead and guide the younger ones. It is a huge achievement when they belong to both worlds. That is so true. And please, we ask, don't worry whether I don't speak English well either. And sometimes I speak in my dialect, okay? Just come here, because there will be people that will understand your dialect, okay? They will understand you. You must have served, you must have done a good thing by serving children in your area that speak that language. So we need men, please help us here. We need you guys. Thank you. And Razehab, how are you, sir? Thank you so much for being with us here today, discussing this important topic. We appreciate you. Thank you. And hashtag OGM, hashtag gender equality, hashtag both boys and girls, hashtag awesome experience. Thank you, Melanie. And oh, wow, Momodu Jalo, the most handsome man in Unpassive. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for being here and appreciating us and everyone and all my beloved global ambassadors. Thank you for everything you've done and still doing for our children. Yes, and we thank Mr. Ashmufara the most because of the reason he brought us here together. And also we thank the Almighty God for keeping us alive. Thank you. And hello, folks. I hope that came across well. And I think we see my Bob Marley's song that we are all equal and need to just get together, and we will be all right. Love to all. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. I love it. We missed that. Momodu. Momo do. I hope you were here for my song. Welcome to you today. Always a pleasure to have you here. Yes. Thank you so much. And you're going to be singing it again from time to time, John. That's beautiful. And Kay Malathi, how are you, sir? Thank you so much for joining us here today. We appreciate you. We have Hash later Topo, sister, how are you? We miss you, but thank you for being here today and in this important conversation about women and young girls, and of course, everyone. And we have a Rama Kanta. How are you? Thank you. If you're new, you're welcome to this family. We are here representing our CEO, and we thank you for joining us here. And be sure to subscribe, share, like, put the big thumbs up, everyone. And also, there is our Facebook page that you can also like and follow. And we have Sir Ashok Kumar. Thank you so much for your prayers to our CEO. And thank you for always being so consistent and your great support for children here in One Global Movement. We appreciate you. We have Abdul Sattar. How are you, sir? Thank you for joining us here. We need you guys on this panel next time. Okay, we need you, Ashok Kumar, Sir Abdul Sattar. We need Paul, is it Paul Gutam Halda, and all the men here. We need you guys. Come on. The children want to hear you too. They want to hear from you guys. Come on. And I think some of you missed my song. Maybe check the replay and you can hear me sing One Love, an appropriate song for today's topic. Yes, go check it out. Thank you. And let's go down here. I hope I'm not missing any name. If I do, please excuse me. And now here is the last. Hello, hello, Cecile, and thanks for being here today. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. I'll let Melanie close for us here today. Or John, do you have anything to say before we close?
No, not really. I'm not much of a talker, but I mean, some people would go, "Oh, really?" yeah, no. Well, but I would like to. I just want to encourage everyone who is here today to keep on coming and to come on time. Oh, because then you see our whole broadcast, and we do want to get more people involved and come here and listen from beginning to end. So I just want to encourage people to do that. That's all I have to say, really.
Thank you, John. Okay, over to you, Melanie, for the closing.
Thank you. First of all, John, you said you're not a talker. Did I hear that?
He speaks from the heart.
Yeah, I know. Big heart.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So in conclusion, with a unified body, I will start from there and I'll end that with that, because together, collaboratively, both men and women, it's like the birds and the bees. We need to know about each other. We need to hear about each other from young up to adulthood. And then you'll be better able to accommodate what that person is saying. You'll be able to understand them better because you respect that person's opinion, and in return, they respect yours. That's both sides, the genders. So both men and women, I think we should support each other more, and we should learn to understand. And there's so many experiences in life. Some, as Sister Yvonne said, so many people that were ignored, as children, both boys and girls. So we can't take that and make it a judgment. Instead, we learn to understand.
Yes.
And by understanding them, we can create so much of a better world, a better community. And that is how we get along.
Yep.
That's all I can say.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let's see again next week, Wednesday and Friday. And if you have anything, don't hold back. If something is happening in your community that you're seeking answers, we can discuss it here. If you want us to talk about something that you're doing amazingly in your community, in your family, or with the youth in your area, please bring it here. We are here to celebrate them. We are here to make their faces shine in the world. We are servants. So bring it up. Anything, not just anything good, not so good, something that you're thinking about, you want to put some resources together, but you don't know what to do, bring it here. This is how we get to build these programs, by us talking about these things. We want to give these children a voice, but we cannot give them a voice when we ourselves, we are not really advocating or really bringing out our own voices. They learn from us, they copy. The children, they copy what they see you doing than what you keep telling them to do.
Yvonne,
yes.
Yvonne, I just wanted to say, so you mentioned, now we're going to be, like you said, Monday and Friday, right?
Wednesdays.
Wednesday. I thought I heard Monday. Wednesday. I want to get it straight so people know that, yeah. Okay. Wednesday and Friday. And we'll both be live.
Yes.
Okay. So Wednesday and Friday, everybody listen, Wednesday and Friday, we'll be here live. Come on, join us. Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much. We love you all. And until next week, we wish you a fun, fantastic week. And let us hear beautiful stories, maybe graduation stories, because this is graduation period. Let us hear beautiful stories. Graduate from business, from a skill you're learning, from a classroom, from anything, or from a project that you're building. All of these things are skills. This is real education. So we love you all. Thank you, Melanie. I love you. I love you, John.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Yvonne. Thank you, John and Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
I don't see Bruce's picture anymore. Did it disappear? Thank you so much,
No,
Bruce. We love
he's there.
Come again. You're one of our men now on the panel here, so we'll be seeing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Have a beautiful day.